name is Steven Bushong. I'm associate editor at Solar Power World magazine, and this is Solar Speaks Live, powered by Unirac. This morning I am sitting with Nancy Edwards. She is the principal and founder of Clean Power Marketing Group in Austin, Texas.
Hello.
Thank you for being here, Nancy.
Thank you.
So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about B2B marketing today.
Yeah.
And so I was hoping you could just give me a general overview. If I am in marketing for a B2B solar company,
Right.
what's the number one thing I should consider doing with my company's marketing dollars?
So I'm going to get really fundamental.
Okay.
I'm a big believer in fundamentals. So a lot of people in solar like to jump right to crazy tactics.
Okay.
And do a lot of scattershot marketing that doesn't necessarily have a long-range strategy.
Okay.
And so I always encourage people to start with the fundamentals, to think about, the 4 P's of marketing: product, price,
Okay.
place, promotion. But there's a 5th P that is really important, which is partners. And that's really important in solar B2B because there are, we all help each other and we sell through other companies typically.
Yeah.
And so making your partners successful, your partner is essentially your customer, and helping your partners be successful is really important in solar.
Yeah, I just told the rest of my company this, that nothing in solar seems to happen in a silo.
No.
Are there any, what advice would you give for developing good partnerships across the industry?
So, it really does boil down to, again, fundamentals of helping them be successful.
Okay.
So giving them the training they need, the tools that they need to be able to sell your product, and making sure that you're with them every step of the way. So it's really kind of old school, marketing 101, but also customer success 101, and making sure that they are successful, then you're successful.
Okay. I'm going to rewind a bit to probably what I should have asked first off.
All right.
Can you tell me about a Clean Power Marketing Group?
Yes. So Clean Power Marketing, we're based in Austin, Texas, beautiful Austin, Texas, and we help companies large and small, from the large solar panel manufacturers to early stage startups, develop. I don't know if I should look at you or here.
Hey, you can look at me.
Okay. Develop integrated marketing strategies, basically, that help them increase their sales and grow the market. So our focus is on accelerating solar and accelerating clean energy generally. And so we take a collaborative approach, work with clients on what really works for them and their market or for their particular business model, and develop both long-range and short-term strategies, but everything that has kind of a big picture quality to it in terms of their marketing.
Okay. So you have 20 years experience in marketing, PR, across the board. What's different about the solar industry?
Solar is a crazy, crazy industry, which I love. I've been in solar since 2010, and the thing that's different about it for me, the reason I got into it, is that we're all in it for a larger reason. It's not about selling bits and bots and making people more productive or getting online, doing the latest online thing. It's really about helping the planet and helping ensure a better future. So that gives the industry sort of a collaborative feel that you're not necessarily going to see when you're selling, metal tubing or, different kinds of, technical products. So there's still technology in it, which makes it interesting and fascinating, but it's much more focused on the big picture for me.
Absolutely. I'm always impressed when I sit down with a CEO of a big company and I ask, why did you get into solar? And more times than not, he or she says, I wanted to help the planet. I really believed in what solar was going to do.
Right,
so,
right. It's a huge difference. And, I guess the other way that we're different is that in other traditional industries, usually the channels are a little more established and the marketing is a little more, maybe old school, but in solar, we're kind of building the plane as we fly it, and we're figuring out the channels, and we're figuring out the financing, we're figuring out all the distribution strategies and business models. So it's a very exciting, disruptive industry, which is very fun to be a part of.
That explains why solar is so into Twitter, for instance, and other types of social media.
Probably so.
What about marketing automation? All these programs that are coming out to help companies identify their prospects and track them through the web. We at Solar Power World, we use HubSpot. I was hoping maybe you could comment on marketing automation. And
Sure. I mean, so the biggest advice I can give a company about marketing automation and about tools in general is that don't get overwhelmed. Find the right tool for your company, because there are a lot of bells and whistles, and there's lots and lots of, big, enterprise scale marketing automation that may not be right for a smaller company. So there are certain tools that might work for smaller companies and certain for larger companies, but my advice is really to just work with an expert. Try to help, try to find the right partner that can help you, divide the wheat from the chaff.
Okay, very good. And I also want to ask about content marketing.
Yes.
Can you describe what content marketing is and how that might help a company?
So for me, content marketing is really just telling your story in a way that maps to the customer's decision cycle. So finding a compelling piece of your story that answers a customer's pain, and figuring out the right place to tell that story and the right way to tell that story in a way that's fresh and interesting and fun, because that's so important in content.
Okay.
So it's really just a different way. It's really just marketing, but in a way that is helping the customer make a decision in a very informed way.
Okay.
So.
2 questions follow up to that. First of all, how do you find the compelling story? And then second, what channels do you distribute it through?
Right. Helping find the story is about knowing your customer. So understanding what they want, what they need, what their pain points are, and not necessarily munging your marketing to address that, but finding in your true, in the true brand that is you, what are the pieces of your story that help them. So it's developing a strong messaging platform and understanding how to talk about your product, what your value proposition is, what the proof points are that you need underneath. It's a little bit of boring messaging work that has to go on, but really doing a little bit of disciplinary work around your messaging that you can develop into a strong
And then where do you distribute? Do you run your own blog? Do you?
You can run your own blog. I mean, I actually believe in an integrated strategy. So, for sure, you want to have your own tools on your own site and all that sort of thing, but you want to have the same message in an integrated way on external sources as well, places like Solar Power World.
Okay.
But also, in an integrated way, kind of through partner sites and other content sources, all the social media sites. Everything needs to be very, very integrated, though.
Is there a way to measure the effectiveness of content marketing?
There are tools out there, and I do recommend that, but some of them can be very specific to the platform that you're using. Others, Hootsuite is a good tool for Twitter. There's lots and lots of integrated marketing automation tools that balance and evaluate, but again, it's kind of what's right for you at your stage in your company.
What's your take on self-publishing, through a company blog, versus working with Solar Power World to distribute content?
So I think that having a third-party, validation of your story can be a good thing if, and I think it's important if, the third party is actually taking part in the development and is helping and is being almost like the voice of the customer in developing that content and is asking the right questions. And because it's too easy as a company to get lost in our own messaging, and not understand where, why that matters to the customer. So, a third party and a publication such as Solar Power World can come across and say, what are the reasons, what's the customer's reason for wanting your product.
Okay.
So that's the main reason why I would do that. And because you guys have a great distribution network.
Thank you. Does content marketing kind of work into PR, or are these two separate things?
So they are twin sons of the same mother. How should I say
Okay.
that? I feel that they are related, but not the same. Content is a piece of PR. I think of PR as a bigger picture strategy that has to do more with who you are as a brand and how you express that to media, to analysts, to the broader community, what you do in terms of your community efforts. But it's really an extension of your brand more than anything. And then content is a way to get those messages out, content marketing. But the difference in PR today is that it's two-way. It's no longer just push out press releases and hope that they get picked up. It really is interactive, from developing the relationships with the reporters to having the conversation online. When something is posted.
Also gathering a lot of information from your consumers.
Definitely.
Two-way street.
Yeah, definitely.
What about old school advertising? Curious how you feel about the ads in a print publication.
Does that exist anymore?
I think
No, it does. It does. It has its role. It has its place, but not. I would say not randomly. So I do think that it's another two-way street. Even
Okay.
advertising has become interactive, obviously, but.
Right.
It needs to be part of an integrated strategy. So I don't necessarily believe in just wholesale print, a lot of print, brand advertising, unless it's connected with an overall, strategy.
Okay. Well, Nancy Edwards, I'm out of questions for you.
All right. Well, thank you. That was so painless.
Absolutely. Is there anything
Hi,
else you'd like to
everybody.
discuss?
Hi, Mom. No. No, I just, everybody have fun at InterSolar. It's an awesome show, and thank you to Solar Power World.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thanks.